This is World of Unlit, a fast-paced movie shooter that I've been developing over the past 2 years. It released on Steam earlier today. And it wasn't an easy journey. The German government confiscated my computer for 5 weeks. I put myself into the most amount of debt I've ever been to be able to hire people and pay for advertising. I went to the streets with signs saying, "Beat my game, win €10." So here's what happened. 7 months ago I thought I would just have to finish the game and that's it. Then something private happened that made me go, pause. There's a problem with the game. If I play the game, the movement looks perfectly smooth, like an artwork. But if the playtesters play the game, it looks like this. Players didn't understand the grappling hook. But the grappling hook is like the signature movement ability in World of Unlit. There's no other game with a grappling hook like that. You can attach the hook freely in the world, you can swing, and you can pull yourself. And if you learn how to use it, it's amazing. And you are guaranteed to have a good time every time you play the game. So how do we solve that? Adding a tutorial. What? No, making tutorials is for losers. Instead, we're just gonna teach them how it works, like intuitively, by just letting them die 1,276 times until they learn it. I'm old school and I'll teach my players like old school. I proceeded to make the game with that attitude for like 3 months, until another private thing happened that made naive me go, damn, I have to get a job as soon as possible. So I started working in a call center. Also around that time, the police decided to raid my home and take my PC. For some reason, they thought that I'm a cyber criminal. So after a couple of weeks, they apparently realized I made a mistake and they gave me my PC back, with the hard drives separately. But after that, I was able to look at the game much more rationally, and I realized very few people actually know about the game at the moment. And if I don't get more people to know about it, the game is almost guaranteed to be a flop. So I looked into ways of marketing a game. And the best solution I could find was Steam Next Fest. That's a festival on Steam where Steam gives a lot of exposure to upcoming games. And if the game is optimized for Steam, this can result in a lot of exposure for the game. But how do you optimize a game for Steam? Cover art. The cover art is the most important thing. There's also the shop page and the trailer and the screenshots, but without a cover art, the rest is pointless. So I have to get a good cover art, otherwise Steam Next Fest is not gonna work. I tried to make a good cover art myself. It didn't work, so I hired someone to make a better cover art. It's better, but so I hired someone else to make an even better cover art, and she nailed it. This is incredible. The only downside is, it is so expensive, holy cow. I work at a call center, I make a little over minimum wage. How am I supposed? So I went into debt. Yeah, apparently you can just have negative money and it still works like normal money, except you have to pay it back at some point. I then hired a UI designer called Henry to remake the entire UI for the game. I paid him $1,000. This is the before and after. He did a good job and I believe the money was invested well. We're also good friends privately. And he always told me to add arms to the game, because it's kind of weird that the guns are just floating there. He is American. I live in America, we don't have floating guns in our ranges, so they don't exist. He managed to talk me into adding arms. It was a good decision. Look at how much better that looks. But then he talked me into another thing.
Controller support.
And I mean, controller support isn't a big deal, right? You just have to sort of add like bindings for it, and no? That's not all you have to do? You have to do more than adding bindings?
Aim assist.
Oh, it's just aim assist. Well, that's a little tough, but I'll figure it out. Like, relax.
Menu navigation.
Oh, right, oh. I'll just sleep like 2 hours a day less and then I should get it done in time.
By the way, all that kinda messed up the way rebinding works, so you have to remake that system as well.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
Also, you see this little hint telling you what button to use for what action? Steam only recognizes your game having controller support if they show the controller icons. The correct controller icon for every type of controller. So that's PlayStation, Xbox, Twitch, Steam Deck.
There have been so many bugs. Here are just some of the clips playtesters sent me. I obviously fixed every single one, and the playtesters have been searching for bugs constantly, and they can't find any, which I think is pretty good. Though, if you find any bugs while playing the game, no matter how small, you can always join the Discord and report it. This has a very high priority to me that the game is basically bug-free. Thanks again to all the playtesters. Without them, none of this would have been possible, so Thanks a lot, guys. Another person I have to thank is Camel T. He made an epic soundtrack for the game. We made it so it dynamically adjusts depending on where you are in the mission, which I think is pretty cool. I want to get back to the problem of the playtesters not knowing how to use the grappling hook properly. I was just editing the video and I realized I never explained how I fixed that. So the first step I took was to change the way the controls work. It used to be that by default you would have to press E to shoot the hook, and when you release E it would pull you towards the hook's position. But what the playtesters would end up doing is they would press E and just instantly, release it again. Resulting in them not even knowing about the swinging ability. So now I separated these actions. So you have to press E to shoot the hook, and you have to press left shift in order to pull yourself. You can change that in the settings back to the 1-button mode if you want to, but the 2-button mode is the default for new players because that's just much more intuitive for them. Now the second thing I did to get the player to learn the grappling hook, because as I said, the grappling hook is like the most fun mechanic in the game, is I designed many levels in a way that the player is peacefully encouraged to use the grappling hook more, or in specific ways. Millaville, for example, it's a level that only goes up, so you have to use the grappling hook constantly just to move. Another example, Tukalika, is teaching you how to launch yourself into a direction. That's a technique you can learn with a grappling hook. Another example, base 4, is designed to teach you a very advanced technique where you use the launching and the swinging in order to do like a beautiful dance around the enemies in the air. It's pretty beautiful. There's more than that, but these are like the most important design choices that I made that led to the players understanding the grappling hook. In the very end, I was a little scared that a lot of casual gamers who would play the demo during Next Fest just wouldn't know which buttons to press. So I included 2 little hints in the first level just to get them started with that. Talking about Steam Next Fest, I had a good feeling going into Next Fest. I made all these preparations. The screenshots look good. The trailer is good, the cover art is amazing. I even had these cool GIFs in the description, but sadly, that just wasn't enough. That's what happens. Sometimes you lose. I'm recording this during Next Fest, so there's a slight chance this changes in the next days, but I don't think it will, honestly. Alright, so here are the results of Next Fest. The blue line in this graph shows how many people have finished the first mission, and the orange one, how many have finished the second one. So it did improve a little bit to the end, but not that much. By the way, I had this amazing idea of going out on the streets of Cologne and giving everyone who can beat the game, or the demo, that's the first 2 levels of the game, 10 euros if they can beat these 2 levels. And it was fun for like 40 minutes. Then the battery of the laptop ran out. There was one person though who managed to beat it in that time. So that was pretty cool. I'll definitely do it again. I bought this massive power bank. I'll upload a video about that in the next week if you want to see how that goes. I also gave everyone there a key for the game, one of those. I'll find good use for the rest I have. I hope you guys have fun with the game. It's $14.99 on Steam. Go and buy it now.